You're listening to Daily Horoscope for your zodiac sign with Stephanie Campos. I'm your host, Stephanie Campos, and I am a practicing astrologer, psychic medium, and witch. In each daily episode, I covered a detailed overview of the astrology of the day and what you can expect from full moons to Mercury retrogrades. I've got you covered. And of course, there is always a personalized horoscope for your zodiac sign. If you scroll down in the show notes, there are always timestamps included for your convenience. And a quick pro tip before we dive in, I do recommend listening to your horoscope based on your rising sign for more accuracy. And if you are loving this podcast, don't be shy, leave a rating. Hell, even a review. I'm a one human show and produce each and every episode every day just for you. And your support means so much. Now let's get into the astrology of the day. This is your daily horoscope for Monday, January 19th, 2026. All times are Pacific Standard Times. We have such a wild day. It's like so many things are going on all at once. And there's a little bit of contradictory energy, but such is life, right? We start out around 2 p.m. with the sun in Capricorn forming a sextile with Neptune in Pisces. This is taking place at 29 degrees. The final time that they will ever connect in our lifetimes, because Neptune is going to enter Aries later in the month, saying goodbye to the sign of Pisces for another 165 something ish years. So we're wrapping up something in the Capricorn and Pisces sections of our chart, but in a very supportive way. When the sun meets with Neptune, it's a time where we are making decisions and showing up in alignment with our intuition. You might gain attention for how compassionate you are, for how creative you are. You might just feel a little bit more glamorous in some way. There's more magnetism. There's more creativity kind of spewing from you, and your aura is magnetic. And this is generally a great time to do divination work. There's just one aspect today that is a little difficult, but this could be a good time to do some sort of spell work as well. Around 5:30 p.m., the sun enters Aquarius, putting us in a more social mood, a collective, community care-oriented mood, thinking about the future, thinking about our own future, our hopes and our dreams, innovating, helping us take a risk, focusing on those who feel like outsiders or who are marginalized, right? That is something that Aquarius energy is often familiar with. It is ruled by the planet Saturn, which is the last visible planet in the sky. And as such, it has been associated with boundaries because it is the boundary from which we aren't able to see beyond with our visible eyes. So really becoming more aware of who and what lies at the margins and how we can show up collectively is a very important theme, especially during Aquarius season, but all the time, of course. Now around 8 p.m., we have that difficult aspect. We have Venus in Aquarius forming a conjunction with Pluto in Aquarius. This is taking place at 3 degrees. If you have any planets or placements around 3 degrees, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, you're going to feel the difficulties of this the most intensely. Venus is the planet of relationships, pleasure, desire, our creativity. Pluto is our fears, our shadow side, our relationship with jealousy, manipulation, obsessions, and control. And when Venus and Pluto come together, we might have to navigate relationship power dynamics. We might have to stand up for ourselves, reclaim our power. We might have to set an important boundary or leave a certain relationship or contract where we feel undervalued or taken advantage of or manipulated. Sometimes there is some sort of deep, vulnerable exchange or moment that prompts healing or a deepening of a connection as well. This can be a time where you're facing some of your fears regarding your own creative gifts and talents and pleasures, whether that's experimenting sexually, whether that is sharing your gifts with the world and kind of facing any fears of really taking up space and allowing yourself to shine and be in the spotlight. But this will be a moment where we are navigating some of our bigger feelings and our shadow side in some way. Now, around 9 p.m., Saturn in Pisces forms a sextile with Uranus and Taurus. This is taking place at 27 degrees. And these two planets rarely meet up. They are two of the outer planets, so they move very slowly. And Saturn is this planet of commitment and responsibility and consequences. And Uranus is this planet of innovation, surprises, and revolution, liberation. So when they come together in a supportive way, it can help us tweak and make changes to our ongoing commitments, but changes that ultimately help us support and reach our goals in new ways that are more sustainable, or help us reach those goals quicker, or bring about an unexpected sense of security or stability in some way. This can really help us try new things to create the structures that we are seeking and desiring in our lives. Around 10 p.m., Mars in Capricorn will form a trine with Uranus and Taurus, and it will also form a sextile with Saturn and Pisces, because we know they're just kissing one another in the sky. Those connections are also taking place at 27 degrees. If you have any planets or placements around 27 degrees of the earth signs or the water signs, you'll feel the benefits of this the most intensely. But when Mars meets with Uranus and Saturn, this is also going to give us the encouragement, the confidence, and the momentum and stamina to make those changes now, to take action on some of our dreams, to commit to new things. But Mars is the planet of action. So we're taking that aspect between Saturn and Uranus, and now we are literally acting on it. We're making a decision, we're moving forward, and we're feeling confident and excited about what comes next. Aries, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, you may be confronting uncomfortable power dynamics in your close friendships, your network, or any communities that you're a part of. On the other hand, this could also mark a powerful moment of transformation and change regarding one of your hopes and dreams for the future. Maybe someone with power or influence is ready to step in and help bring your dreams to life. Taurus, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, you are addressing uncomfortable and toxic dynamics in your professional life or with any key players in your life, whether it's a parental figure, a romantic partner, or even a roommate. This could also mark a moment of prominence. Maybe your reputation is transforming in the work that you do with the world. Gemini, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, it's time to address any boundaries that have been crossed or expectations that are being ignored, especially in your close one-on-one relationships. You may also reveal something cathartic that you've kept to yourself that feels like it's part of your shadow side, or maybe it's too taboo to talk about, or maybe someone else is confiding in you a very powerful or dark secret. Cancer, once Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, you could be fixated on your financial goals. Maybe you are reaching a new level in your wealth and your sense of security. This can also be an important time to discuss any power dynamics related to your finances within your partnerships. This can also be a very steamy day, but it can also be a day where you're confronting projections, feelings of obsession, or even jealousy. Virgo, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, you might have to confront someone who's been micromanaging you or putting a lot of their burdens and responsibility onto your shoulders and plate. This could also be a cathartic time to review your daily habits and routines and to kick a pattern that is ultimately more toxic than beneficial. Leo, once Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, it's going to impact your one-on-one relationships. You could feel compulsively obsessed with someone. You might need to address some uncomfortable power dynamics in a close relationship. And this also brings up your current relationship with power, control, and jealousy. There's also the possibility that you receive an opportunity, collaborative project, or contract that feels incredibly transformational or maybe even life-changing. Libra, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, you might be dealing with some intense passion in your close romantic relationships. This can be an aligned time to explore your kinks and pleasures. This can also stir up feelings of jealousy, possessiveness, and a need to address any unhealthy power balances. Engaging with an artistic medium or a hobby today can also be incredibly healing and cathartic. Scorpio, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, it could stir up some skeletons in your closet, especially as it relates to your family line and history. You might be dealing with an especially challenging or intense or cathartic family situation, or you might also be able to better see the shadow sides of some of your family members and feel ready to break free from any generational patterns or cycles that are ultimately unhealthy and toxic. Sagittarius, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, you can have some transformative conversations in your close relationships. This is a powerful day for addressing any issues related to jealousy, obsession, possessiveness, control, or an imbalance of power. Writing, speaking, and sharing your feelings today can also be incredibly cathartic and healing. Capricorn, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, it can bring attention to your finances. On one hand, this could have you feeling like you've leveled up. Maybe you are experiencing more wealth and abundance and security than you have had in quite some time. But on the other hand, it can stir up feelings of scarcity and even insecurity. This can be a very transformative day for shifting your money mindset and your relationship with abundance. Aquarius, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, you are going to have to confront any truths that you've been avoiding in your close relationships and about your own personal needs and identity in these relationships. This can be a very emotionally sensitive day, even triggering. Ultimately, when you choose to sit with what feels uncomfortable and what you've been avoiding and learn to surrender, immense healing can take place. Pisces, when Venus forms a conjunction with Pluto, it can stir up some of your hidden desires, fantasies, or even have you dreaming of an old lover. This can easily cause you to overthink and wonder, why are they showing up in my dreams? Does it mean something special or important? And this can be a day where it's really easy to become fixated on toxic relationships, especially ones from the past. On the other hand, engaging in vulnerability and intimate conversations with someone you trust can also be healing and cathartic.